Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday. It is February the 8th, and today is National Boy Scouts Day. And we actually have the Boy Scouts in the news. They started, I think, this week, maybe, started offering girls admission to Boy Scouts. Also, so I think they're going to just be the Scouts. Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, it is National Kite Flying Day today, and it's National Iowa Day. That's Heidi's home state.
It is.
Happy Iowa Day, Heidi.
How
are
are
you
you
going to celebrate?
How am I going to celebrate?
Yeah, Iowa Day.
I probably won't do a thing.
I thought maybe you would. Your mom and dad still live in Iowa. I've got a guest on the radio program. I'm not sure where he's from, but BrianJustinCrumb. He was on America's Got Talent, and the nation just fell in love with this guy. And he's a very, very talented dude. He's on, I believe it's called the Champion Series, something like that. There's a new version. Anyway, coming up on Monday, he'll be back on the big screen, or not the big screen, but the TV screen for a special program. And I'm going to chat with him about that and try to get all the details. We'll see if we can, get some of the top secret stuff.
Cool.
Because they record things in advance. I don't know if he'll be able to spill the beans, but I'm going to try. It's all on the way. BrianJustinCrumb from America's Got Talent on today's edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for surveys and studies and such. This is from the University of Austin. They did a study, and they found that people automatically start eating healthier when they begin a daily exercise routine.
Yep.
I think we need to do a little daily
I
exercise.
know we do.
And then we would have a better diet. We both made this decision beginning of the year, like a lot of people did. But
And we've both
We've
been
done
terrible.
We've done really good in some areas, and then there are other areas where we're like, we probably shouldn't have done that, should we?
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty normal. But again, if you start having a daily exercise routine, you automatically start eating healthier as well. That's cool. Very cool survey on surveys and studies and such. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. And this is your brain on drugs. A man arrested on a felony heroin traffic charge spent 6 weeks in jail before investigators determined that the narcotic he was alleged to have was actually laundry detergent. Yeah, it was not heroin. The fallout from that botched bust of 29-year-old Matthew Krull has included the firing of the arresting officer, the dismissal of drug charges against 11 other individuals who were also arrested by Stephen O'Leary, the former sheriff's deputy. He was arrested in December after he responded to a call about a suspicious vehicle at the KFC parking lot in Florida there. And he was sleeping in a blue Astrovan with an open can of beer in the cup holder and a pipe containing a green leafy substance in plain view. He reportedly searched the vehicle and turned up this bag that had a white powder substance, and they thought that it was something else. This is a field test. It said it tested positive for heroin. After they actually did a real test, they found out it was laundry detergent. So they dropped the trafficking charge, still got aggravated felony carrying a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison. So he had other things that he did wrong too, but it was one thing that wasn't right, was the laundry detergent was not heroin. There you go. That's what happens, though, when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. CBS is reporting that 22 million people watched Sunday night's premiere of The World's Best. So The World's Best is kind of like America's Got Talent or The X Factor or America and Idol or any of those. but it's just different talents. Did you see any of that on the screen?
No.
It was after this. It was the one where the dude was swallowing the swords and stuff.
Oh, I saw a
Yeah.
second of it.
Ugh.
I don't like to watch that kind of stuff.
We were
though,
a couple
so-
of the 22 million people that were watching, but we weren't really watching. It was just on.
Right, it was just on in the room, and
I
I
don't know if
bet
it's-
the majority of the people
Yeah, probably.
were in that same boat.
Some probably still sleeping on the sofa after falling asleep.
So
during
they
that
benefited from the
game.
ratings of the post
Yeah,
Super
well, that's
Bowl.
exactly why they put it there.
Yeah.
They were hoping that it'd be a big deal. Selma Hayek decided to embrace her gray hair. She's 52, and she said, I'm not dyeing my hair anymore. I'm going to just let it go gray.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. And ABC announced that Modern Family is going to end after their 11th season. So that's really kind of sad. The final season will be the 2019-2020 season, and big fans of Modern Family are quite disappointed. So there you go. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patti Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from the Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A lock of George Washington's hair has sold for $35,000 at auction.
How are they even going to prove that that's really his hair?
Well, I don't know how they know for sure that it was
So
his hair, but I'm sure it
stupid.
came with a letter of authenticity.
I'm
or
sure it
something.
did.
Look
Ooh.
at this. It's a lock of hair. Whose hair is that? George Washington.
Jeez.
So I'm sure there's a way that they know for sure that it was his, but this lock of George Washington's hair sold for $35,000 at auction. My question is this. What would you do with that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If you were a museum, I could see, putting it on display or something, but
Just
what
an
would you
average
do with
person.
that?
Yeah,
I remember
that's so stupid.
in Las Vegas, Vegas Vacation, what's his name? Wayne Newton gave her a lock of his hair. I thought that was really funny. A lock of hair.
It's a lock of my hair.
A lock of hair is kind of the weirdest Valentine gift to give, by the way. So for those of you planning for next week, maybe don't do that. A former Netflix boss, now keep in mind I said former Netflix boss because I think that kind of sums up the whole rest of the story. A former Netflix boss told The Wrap that streaming service Netflix is lying about their viewership numbers. So he's saying well, he's no longer there, so maybe just bitter, but he's saying that they don't have nearly as many viewers as they say they have. I know that there are a lot of people who subscribe to Netflix and they have their customer account info that they share with other people, and there's like 6 different people using the same username and password. But it's all digital. They should be able to tell exactly how many people are, not people, but how many devices are watching each show. So I wonder if the reason that they are estimating the numbers high, according to him, is they're saying, well, there's 15 people watching every television. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Either way, they're the biggest streaming service, whether there's as many people as they say or not, by far bigger than all of the others out there. So they're the streaming giant. So I don't know. It's interesting. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz was recently interviewed. He's talking about running for president. And during the interview, he said, I really wish people would quit calling me billionaire, Howard Schultz. I am just a person of means.
I heard
I'm
about
a person of means. What does that mean?
Why do you... That sounds worse, I think.
I think it does.
It sounds more uptight and obnoxious.
I've never had the name billionaire or millionaire behind me. I've never had that distinction. I might be 100-aire. Is that a thing?
No.
Maybe 1,000-aire. But
Not a thing.
None of those other things. But according to his description, then I am not a person of means. I don't know what that means, really. Video's gone viral of a Tennessee DUI suspect who chugged her beer as she was lying on the ground getting handcuffed by the police. I mean, she's no quitter. She's like, hey, I paid for this beer. You're just going to take
Might
it
as well
away
finish
anyway.
it.
I think that's actually kind of funny. It's kind of sad, too, but, kind of funny. A Florida woman is facing domestic battery charges after she beat her boyfriend with a frozen pork chop. Well, that's not good. That sounds kind of funny, but it's not funny. It's sad. But I'm trying to think of how you would do that exactly. How big would this pork chop have to be?
I have no idea.
I mean, if I was holding something the size of a pork chop and I'm smacking somebody with it, you don't have a lot of grip. I don't know. Maybe it's a big pork chop. I'm just, not that it matters. Don't do that. Don't beat a loved one with a pork chop, no matter how big or small the pork chop may be. But it's just a very confusing story. And one last story for you, Heidi.
Okay.
An Australian police officer has pled guilty to using the police database to study the personal information of women he met on Tinder. I mean, A for
Have we
effort.
talked about this guy?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Was this in
I
the
don't know.
news?
I heard this. I don't know. Maybe we didn't talk about it on the radio, but I know this story.
Well, he was also fined $2,000 for possessing explicit images of animals. What?
explicit.
I
Images
don't know what
of
that is.
animals.
It's like a naked chicken. Wait, are all chickens naked? I don't know what that means exactly, and
Okay.
I don't think I want to know. I'm certainly not going to Google it. I can tell you that. This has definitely been today's scoop of the day, and it's quite a bizarre one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. For those of you who watch AGT, America's Got Talent, you'll absolutely positively know Brian Justin Crumb. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Well, excited to visit with you. You were on season 11, and now you've got Simon Cowell representing you, and you're back, and I think it's really cool for the Champions show, and you got a special thing coming up on the 11th of February. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be the AGT Champions finale performance. So it's a song that I personally have never heard a man sing before, so I'm excited to take this on. It's going to be a big one.
And what song is that? What are you going to be singing? Or can you tell us that, or is that like top secret?
Top secret, locked in a vault.
See, that's the thing. I'm always afraid that I'm going to ask somebody the wrong thing when I'm talking about shows like this, because I know there's a lot of secret stuff, isn't there?
There's all the secrets. You know, it has to. We want everything to be a surprise.
Let's talk about some things that are not a secret. Where is Brian Justin Crumb originally from? Where were you born and raised and all of that?
I'm from San Diego, California, born and raised.
That is awesome. And where are you living these days? In San Diego as well?
No, I am in sunny, beautiful Los Angeles.
So that's not too far up the road. Over the course of the last few years, how much has your life changed with the television program America's Got Talent?
It's been wild, man. You know, I've always been really lucky. I started doing Broadway shows when I was barely 18 years old, and had a whole career in New York doing theater. And when I decided that I wanted to pursue a solo career, AGT was a no-brainer, and what an amazing opportunity. I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. And then I'm touring now. I'm traveling the world. I'm meeting my incredible fans. I'm getting to release music. So it has totally changed my life.
I remember watching season 11, and I wish I could say we watch every episode every time. We don't get a chance to do that, but we do remember watching yours. And I remember you were talking about, you know, when you were growing up, you were overweight and you were picked on. And so you kind of have a really big stance against bullying. And I think that's an amazing thing, because there's so many people who go through that, who go through the things that you went through. And you have an opportunity to say, hey, hang in there, you can make it. And it would be nice if people would just quit bullying altogether. That's probably not going to happen.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be fantastic. But for people that are on the receiving end of that, what kind of advice do you give them to maybe just kind of hold their head high and know that they're going to make it through?
It's tough, man. I went through a lot of extreme bullying. It was really, really awful. And when you're in it, you don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so, you know, what I did was I buried myself in music. I got lost in my art, and the one thing that really made me happy was performing. So I really encourage everyone out there who is feeling alone, find something that you love and focus on that, because time will show you that it gets better. And you know, people are gonna be awful always. It's a part of life, but you learn how to brush it off with time. And so I say, stay strong, focus on your work, and you'll get through it.
Again, our guest right now, Brian Justin Crumb, Blue Judges Away on America's Got Talent Season 11. And for people who didn't get a chance to see that live on television, here's the cool thing. I think this is just an amazing thing with America's Got Talent. those things get shared and the videos go viral. And I remember when yours was shared over and over and over and over. What was it like to just see that explode on the internet? You know, you go on and you blow away the judges, then you blow away the world on YouTube. That's got to be kind of a cool experience.
It was very cool. It was wild to see it just being shared everywhere. You know, I think on Facebook, my video of Creep has like 60 million views. So it's pretty wild to know that, you know, I'm sitting here in LA and somewhere in the world someone is watching a video of me sing right now. It's pretty wild.
Well, I'm excited for you for the 11th of February. That happens to be my wife and I. It's our anniversary, so it's like a lucky day for us. I hope it's a lucky day for you as well. And again, the AGT Championship show. And that's the finals, the 11th, is that right?
Yep, that'll be the finals, and then the results show will be on the 18th, so tune in and check us out.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat, sir. You have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.
Again, Brian Justin Crumb, and he is part of the America's Got Talent, and it's really cool. It's not just a regular show, but it's a Champions show. And the 11th of February, you'll be able to see him singing his heart out, and I'm excited to see what song it is. He couldn't tell us, but I bet it's going to be awesome. All of the details in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Vampire bats, they're a real thing, and they drink half their body weight in blood. That's a lot.
Yeah, they're not very big.
Every time they feed, Dracula's favorite little friends slurp up an ounce of blood every meal, which takes about 20 to 30 minutes. Quite impressive for a creature that only weighs 2 ounces. Their stomach lining absorbs the liquid as fast as possible to avoid weighing them down too much when they take flight. So there you go. It's kind of how I am at a buffet. Maybe not quite. I eat more than 1 ounce
I was
of
going to
anything.
say, you eat twice your weight.
No, that's the goal sometimes, but never quite got there. This is definitely an interesting fun fact. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patty Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from the Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now, fear this. It's fun with phobias. Mastigophobia. 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 What do you think that is?
I have no idea.
It is the fear of punishment. Huh?
Oh.
Aren't we all afraid of punishment a little bit? I mean,
Okay.
without being afraid of punishment, punishment wouldn't really work. So I think we all have a little fear of punishment. But if you have a big fear of punishment, you are mastigophobic. So there you go. Today's fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the Weird Gift of the Day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now, weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. We haven't even mentioned these lately, have we?
No, it's
I don't
been
know
a
what's
while.
going on. So let's take a look. The Weird Gift of the Day, we'll take a look at the one Saturday. It's witch finger suckers. These are gross looking. They're lollipops that look like witch fingers.
Okay.
Ugh. Yuck. That's definitely a weird gift. According to criminal complaints from Pennsylvania, a man tried to kick in a stranger's front door to escape from zombies that were chasing him and an array of snakes that were biting at his ankles. Police say Mitchell Perzik sought to force his way into a residence. This was in late January. He told the occupants that he was seeking refuge from pursuing zombies and snakes. Says he pounded on the door with his fists and kicked the front door's window. A 28-year-old then, the guy is 28, began climbing through the broken window. Individuals inside armed themselves with a claw hammer and a frying pan. When they heard the police sirens, the man went back out. He went out the rear door and began trying to kick his way out. Unable to gain entrance to the residence, wearing a T-shirt and jeans in the bitter cold, he eventually was laid down in an adjacent roadway where police took him into custody. Doesn't say whether or not he was on drugs, so this wasn't part of our Brain on Drugs segment, but doesn't it sound like he must have been on something?
Yeah, it sounds like there was something going on.
I'm being chased by zombies and snakes.
Yeah.
What? That doesn't happen.
Sounds like there was something going on.
Weird story there. That's why it's today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. If you need a ride to someone's place, you can call like a taxi or an Uber or a Lyft or a friend, but don't call a pizza place. A Florida girl ordered pizzas to a neighbor's house, and then when the pizza guy was walking up to the door, she jumped in his vehicle and stole the car.
Oh.
Yeah, Papa John's delivery man's vehicle was stolen. A 14-year-old girl, Josie Bigelow,
Oh, boy.
placed the phony order to lure the victim to the street near her home. As the driver walked to the front door of the residence with pizza in tow, she jumped from the bushes, hopped into the 49-year-old delivery man's unlocked 2006 Ford Taurus. She was arrested 6 miles from the heist. Investigators said she sought to ditch the Hot Wheels in a stranger's driveway before getting collared. The girl twice escaped from pursuing sheriff's deputy. So they were chasing her, and she was getting away in a Ford Taurus. Well, what?
Wow.
It's kind of crazy. So you wouldn't expect that. That is a very bizarre story. We've got a lot of bizarre stories today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It sounds like it.
Kind of a weird day. This is your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Now, these three things. Heidi, what do these three things have in common? You ready?
I'm ready.
KFC, a steam shovel, and a phone company truck. What do they all have in common? KFC, if you know it, folks, shout it out loud so your friends around you know how smart you are. KFC, a steam shovel, and company truck from a phone company. They all have buckets.
Oh.
Yeah, like a bucket truck. KFC has buckets, and a steam shovel is a bucket. So they all have buckets. That was a tough one.
That was a tough one. I was sitting here thinking, okay,
I'm about afraid to ask.
There's a kernel at KFC. Is there a kernel on? Like, is there something called a kernel on?
That could
on
be. No.
a shovel?
They all have buckets. That is today's. These.
I was thinking way too hard
You
about
were.
it.
That is the answer, though. All have buckets for these three things. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.net. And the good news today includes Steve Tyler from the band Aerosmith.
Yeah, okay.
So, and there's a photo of Steve Tyler, and look at this photo here. He looks a lot different than he did the last time I saw him.
Yeah, he does.
So Steve Tyler now has a goatee and a mustache and stuff. He didn't used to have that, did he? I don't remember that
no,
ever
I don't
being.
think so.
But he's got glasses that look a lot like this girl's glasses.
Yeah,
over here.
they do.
At first, I was trying to figure out. I'm like, are they the same? They're a little different. But here's the headline: Aerosmith's Steven Tyler donates $500,000 to open up another home for abused and traumatized girls. That's really cool that he's doing that.
That's very cool that he's doing that.
He's already donated hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to ensure the health and happiness of abused girls. Now his money is being used to run a new women's shelter in Tennessee. It says here that a newly renovated shelter for abused and neglected girls just outside of Memphis will be opening now. It just did open. The Youth Villages Bartlett campus and it's thanks to a $500,000 donation
Nice.
from Steven Tyler.
That's fantastic.
They're offering treatment and accommodations for up to 14 girls who have experienced trauma in the past. The shelter, aptly named after Aerosmith's hit song, Janie's Got a Gun, about a girl who was abused by her family.
Jeez.
It's called Janie's House.
Oh,
So that's
they named it Janie's Got a Gun.
no. But that song was about a
That
girl.
might be a bad idea.
Yeah, that song was about a girl who was abused. That's why they named it Janie's House. Anyway, says the first facility opened in Atlanta in 2017 with the help of his how do you say that? Philanthropic organization, Janie's Fund. I don't know how to say words. I'm so sorry. Janie's Fund was created in partnership with Youth Villages in 2015, and they do a lot of good things. And I
That's
think this is
awesome.
just
I love
such a
it.
cool story. And when I saw that, I was like, hey, I recognize that dude. It's that guy from that one band.
Yeah.
And now he's got a goatee. Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. Hats off to you, my friend. That's really cool. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.